I never thought I'd end up putting handcuffs on someone who called the cops on me, on my own land, for a crime she invented. But that's exactly what happened the morning HOA President Madison Crowley blasted her white SUV through my ranch gate like she owned the state of Texas. She slapped me, tore up my pasture, screamed that I attacked her, and dialed 911. What she didn't know was the part that made the whole county laugh later. The violent farmer she tried to have arrested was the sheriff. My name's Ethan Miller, and I've lived on this land for 20 years, long enough to know the smell of rain before it hits, long enough to fix every fence post in the dark, long enough to understand that peace never lasts when there's an HOA next door. My ranch sits beside a shiny 3-year-old subdivision called Maple Ridge Community. Cute little houses, pastel garage doors, lawns cut so short the grass looks scared. And ruling all of it like a suburban monarch was Madison Blonde Bob, pastel blazer, HOA badge pinned to her chest like it was a military rank. People didn't just call her a Karen behind her back. They whispered it like a cautionary tale. The HOA had harassed me for years, emails asking for partnership opportunities, which was their polite way of saying, "We want your land. Give it to us." They wanted walking trails, a playground, community gardens. Every email got the same answer from me: absolutely not. This is my ranch, my responsibility, not a blank canvas for bored suburbanites who think chickens are exotic wildlife. I'd almost gotten used to ignoring them. Almost. That morning the sun was still low, a soft orange bleeding over the field, and I was out fixing a loose fence. The air smelled like wet soil and goat feed, peaceful, predictable, until the sound of gravel exploding under tires snapped me back to reality. I turned just in time to see a white SUV barreling down my private drive past 3 no trespassing signs, past the farm stand, past the gate, as if she'd been invited to drive straight into my life like a wrecking ball. The SUV screeched to a stop so close gravel peppered my boots. I stepped back, trying to process what sort of lunatic just sped half a mile onto private land on purpose. Then the door flew open, and out stepped Madison Crowley, HOA royalty herself, oversized sunglasses, swallowing half her face, lips pursed like she smelled something rotten. "Excuse you," she snapped, like I'd thrown myself in front of her for fun. "You almost made me spill my latte." She walked right past me, didn't ask, didn't explain, didn't even look at the giant private property sign inches from her head. She pointed to my pasture like she was choosing a parking spot at Target. "I'll be parking back there," she said, dismissing me with a flick of her hand. "The HOA is conducting a trail assessment today. We're surveying future recreational zones." I stared at her, then at the field, then back at her. "Ma'am," I said slowly, "this is private land." She rolled her eyes so hard I swear I heard it. "Don't be dramatic. The HOA has authority over everything within a mile of the subdivision. This is community property." "No," I said, "it's my property." She laughed loud, fake, sharp enough to cut fence wire. "Oh, honey, you're a farmer. I'm the HOA president. Please don't embarrass yourself." My jaw tightened. "Turn your car around and leave." She stepped closer until I could smell her perfume, sugary and aggressive. "You do not tell me what to do. I make the rules here." I repeated even calmer, "Leave." And then she slapped me, just hauled back and cracked her palm across my face so hard it echoed. I didn't move. I didn't retaliate. I didn't even speak. I just stared at her. Her voice pitched higher, manic. "I'm calling the police. You assaulted me." She ran back to her SUV, screeched the tires, and tore across my pasture, flattening the row of young apple saplings I planted last spring. My stomach twisted watching them snap under her tires. She clipped the side gate with her bumper, too, bending the metal like it was foil. I started walking toward the main driveway. No rush. No panic. I already knew exactly how this story ended. Halfway there, my radio clicked. "Sheriff 911 got a call about an assault on your property," Deputy Garcia said. "A woman in a white SUV claims a farmer attacked her." I sighed. "Let me guess, blonde sunglasses attitude." "That's her," he said. 2 units already responding." "Don't tell her who I am," I said. "Let's save that for dessert." By the time I reached the driveway, 2 cruisers were parked, lights flashing. Madison was pacing in circles, pointing at my house, my field, my barn, anywhere but the truth. She was sobbing dramatically, shrieking stories that didn't even make sense. He strangled me. He stole my purse. He threatened my dog. She didn't even have a dog. The deputies stood stiff, trying not to burst out laughing. Then Madison saw me approaching. There she screamed, "Officer, arrest him! Arrest that man right now!" I folded my arms. "Ma'am, why don't you explain what happened?" She launched into a speech long enough to qualify as a podcast. Something about community duty, public land, violent farmers, and her right to inspect the area. My deputies exchanged glances, silently begging for patience. "Ma'am, Deputy Riley finally said you admitted on camera that you drove onto private land." "It's not private," she snapped. "I'm HOA. I have universal access." Ma'am Riley deadpanned. "There's no such thing as universal HOA access. It's in the bylaws." "No, it's not," Newman muttered. She pointed at me dramatically. "Arrest him." I stepped closer. "Ma'am, I'm the sheriff." Silence. Real perfect heavy silence. Her eyes widened. Her face froze. Her mouth hung open like she'd just been unplugged. No. You're lying. Officers, he's lying. This is a setup." Newman scratched his cheek. "Ma'am, he's literally our boss." Madison staggered backward like the world tilted. "You can't arrest me. I'm HOA. I'm important. That I said is your problem." And then I arrested her trespassing, property destruction, filing a false police report, assault. She shrieked the entire ride to the station, yelling legal threats, promising the HOA would ruin my career, insisting she had influence at the county level. She didn't. At all. At the station, she refused to sit, refused to talk, refused to accept reality. But the moment she was placed in holding, something cracked. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was small, like a balloon losing air. When I finally stepped into the holding cell to talk to her, she stiffened. "You're abusing your power," she snapped. "You slapped me," I said. "That was self-defense. You slapped me before anything happened." Well, I felt threatened. "You ran over my trees. They were in the way." That was when I felt something I didn't expect: exhaustion. Not from the situation, but from the endlessness of people like her. People who never think the rules apply to them. People who rewrite reality in real time. I sat down across from her. "Why did you think you had the right to be on my land?" She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. She dropped her gaze. "I didn't think it mattered," she said quietly. "People don't stop me. I tell them what to do and they do it. I thought you would too." I leaned back, stunned by the honesty. For the first time, she wasn't yelling. She wasn't posturing. She was human. Flawed, entitled, but human. I don't know what shifted in me, but for a moment I wondered if I'd gone too far. If maybe I should have just let her leave. If arresting her was overkill. A twinge of doubt settled in my chest. I hated that feeling, the soft, dangerous thought that maybe standing my ground made me the problem. But then I remembered the orchard, the crushed saplings, the years of harassment letters and boundary pushing, the way she slapped me without hesitation, the way she lied without blinking, and the doubt burned away. "You crossed every line you could," I said, "and now you're facing consequences." She swallowed hard. "What happens now?" "You'll see the judge in the morning." The HOA did not take the news well. They flooded the station with calls, emails, threats, demands. One board member even showed up claiming HOA emergency business required Madison's immediate release. Riley asked, "Should we release her?" "No," I said. "Tell them she's unavailable. She's learning about boundaries." The next morning, the courthouse parking lot looked like a reality TV episode waiting to happen. HOA members whispered aggressively among themselves, shooting me dirty looks. Madison entered wearing a jumpsuit, her hair messy, her confidence gone. When she saw me, she froze, then looked away like she couldn't bear her own reflection in my eyes. During the hearing, the judge listed the charges: trespassing, false report, property destruction, assaulting a law enforcement officer. The HOA gasped at the last one. When the judge asked how she pled, Madison trembled. Her lawyer whispered urgently. She exhaled, defeated. "Guilty," she said. The courtroom rippled. Even I blinked. The judge asked if she wanted to speak. She stood slowly. "I thought I was doing what was best for my community," she said, voice shaking. "But I let that twist into something else. I didn't respect boundaries. I didn't respect people. I didn't respect the law. And I'm sorry. Sheriff, I'm sorry." For a moment, no one breathed. The judge finally spoke. "You will pay full restitution. You will complete 90 days of community service. You will be fined for the false report. And you are barred from holding any HOA leadership position for the next 2 years." A collective gasp erupted behind us. Madison's world, her identity, collapsed right there on the courtroom floor. She was escorted out in silence. As she passed me, she whispered, "Thank you for stopping me before I went further." I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Outside, the HOA board melted into chaos, arguing, blaming each other, trying to figure out how their kingdom fell in less than 24 hours. I walked past them without looking back. My truck waited under the morning sun. My ranch sat quiet over the hill. The fields were still damaged, the trees still crushed, but the air felt lighter. Later that afternoon, I found a letter taped to my farm stand. 3 shaky words: "I'm truly sorry." I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. Not forgiveness, not pity, just the strange, heavy relief that sometimes people can learn the lessons they've spent years avoiding. And if there was one thing I learned that day, it was this: respecting boundaries isn't optional. It's the foundation of peace, of fairness, of every decent thing we call community.